Hello, lovely people. I hope you're well. I hope that everybody is okay and that hopefully you've had a good weekend so far. I hope you're all well. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you for joining. Thank you for giving me your Sunday, as always. Very nice to see you all. Lovely, lovely to have you. So how's it going? What are you up to? What have you been doing? I'd love to hear from you as well to see how's it going. Howdy, as Cheyenne says. Yeah, howdy. How's it going? I hope you're all well. I was actually reading an article. It wasn't reading, sorry. I was watching a BBC News article. This is just to warm us up while I'm waiting for people to join. Lovely. I was watching a BBC News article, and they were talking about how you can tell if somebody has written a fake review on a website. One of the first places I go to whenever I want to buy something, or if I'm thinking of going and visiting a place, one of the first things I do is I go on the reviews. I want to see what other people think about that place, that product, that service, anything. So that's one of the first places I go to. But nowadays, with the use of obviously AI, artificial intelligence, with the use of, all these companies that start hiring people to write fake reviews, it's hard to tell which reviews are genuine and honest and which reviews are fake. It's really, really hard to tell. So I was watching a very interesting article about that. And they were saying if you go on a website and you see that there are lots and lots of fantastic reviews and not many bad reviews, so everything is 100% 5 stars, fantastic, you need to be careful, because of course it could be an amazing place, but it's very difficult to please everybody. Surely there will be a few customers who might not be very happy. So having 100% fantastic reviews isn't always the best thing. It's not always genuine. They were also mentioning stuff like you might find spelling mistakes, you might find grammar mistakes, and that's because a lot of people from other countries will put their fake review in Google Translate, and then they will copy and paste their fake review onto the website. A lot of people have started doing this because some companies will actually pay for fake reviews, which is a shame really, isn't it? I used to love shopping from Amazon because I really liked the fact that I could go and read other people's reviews. But now that they're talking about these fake reviews, makes it really difficult to know which one is fake and which one is genuine. It's not easy to make out which is fake and which isn't. Yeah, there are other people as well who read the reviews as well. Yeah, okay. So I can see quite a few people have joined. Thank you so much for joining. Lovely, lovely. Hello. And thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for joining. Okay. Sometimes they say you can keep it and we refund you, but give us a good review. Really? Oh dear, that's naughty, isn't it? That's really, really naughty. It's like they will only refund you if you give them a review. That's really bad. That's kind of like deceiving future clients and customers. Not good at all. No. Okay. Tell me about it, Azim. Yeah. It's really the whole idea of writing reviews is based on trust. Okay, and I do appreciate you might like something and I might not. So the same thing, let's say a pen, you might think this pen is amazing, it's fantastic. The same pen, I might have a different opinion about it, okay? So the whole idea goes on trust. I trust that from your subjective, your personal opinion, you think this is a good pen. So that means I trust the reviews, right? If I can't trust the reviews and I go on that website and buy something and it turns out that the reviews were fake, then obviously I'm not going to be very happy. I'm definitely going to be demanding my money back. And I personally think it should be illegal. It's a form of lying, right? It should be illegal. Okay. Musavi, hi Leila, I hope you're well. It seems you're still in the US. Yes, I'm still in California. I'm still here visiting family. I'm staying with my brother and his lovely family for another 10 days or so, and then I'm coming back to the UK. Yeah. Thank you for your teaching. متوجه نشدم تو فکر بودم. I was miles away. I must admit that I'll only leave a review if I have something good to say. That's interesting that you say that, Azin. That is interesting because I like to write all different types of reviews because in my opinion, maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but in my opinion, I think that whoever goes on that website and wants to look at whatever item it is that they want to buy, they want to have the good and the bad. So they want to hear good reviews, they also want to hear bad. If I am looking at a hotel to stay at or a restaurant to go to or anything like that, I make sure to look at the good reviews, obviously, but also really carefully read the negative reviews. And there are some really difficult customers out there, I know. If you're looking for a hotel and someone starts moaning, oh, the car park is always full, well, that's not really the hotel's fault, is it? It's a good thing if the car park is full. That means the hotel is good. So that shouldn't really garner a negative review, but it's good to read all of them anyway. Okay. Any advanced podcast for listening, Faiza? It's something I'm definitely thinking about doing. Yes, advanced podcast, definitely. Okay. Right, lovely. So I'm going to get down to the tenses. This is what we're going to do. And I want to see if I can turn off commenting for now. Sorry. Just so that we don't get confused, we don't get distracted, myself included. I've asked if you want to get maybe a pen and a piece of paper ready. Obviously, I'm recording this. It's going to end up on YouTube, and that's where it's going to stay. I'm not going to delete it. But in the meantime, if you do want to get, like me, your little notebook and pen, then you can make notes if you want to. So the lesson we're going to have today, we're just going to review all the tenses all together. If I'm not mistaken here, I have got, I think it was 14, is that right? 14 tenses we're going to go over, starting from the very basics. And just to let you know, the on my website, Grammar 1 is where you will find a lot of these tenses. And then in Grammar 2, which is a separate course, a little bit more advanced, I have a few more advanced tenses in Grammar 2 as well. So that's just to let you know, plenty of examples, lots and lots of explanation, sample paragraphs, audio file, homework, everything on the website if you want more practice for the grammar. So that's Grammar Course 1 and Grammar Course 2 on the website. Okay. The verb we're going to be using for today in all of my sentences, the verb we're going to be using is the verb write. write. Okay, that's the verb we're going to be using. The first tense we're going to start with is present simple. Yeah, present simple. And my sentence is this: I write for a living. Now, something I'm going to do, I've looked on other people's pages, and I think it seems to be a trend that people say I go, I was going, I have gone, I went, all of these, which is great and it's lovely. But if it's okay with you, I'm going to continue the sentence a little bit. I'm not just going to say I go, because usually in everyday English we don't say I go. I go to work, yeah? I go by car, or we continue the sentence. So that's what I'm going to try and do. The first one, I write for a living. I write for a living. Write is present simple. And when I say I write for a living, that means that's my job. Yeah. For example, now myself, Layla, I teach for a living. That's my job. I teach for a living. But here in the sentence, because we're going to use write, I say I write for a living. I write for a living. So present simple is write. We're going to go on to present continuous, and the formula for present continuous is the verb plus ing. Yeah, and you might have the to be before it. Okay. Somebody might ask me, Layla, what are you doing these days? What are you doing these days? I can say, I'm writing a novel. I'm writing a novel. That means a story. So Layla, what are you doing these days? This is my sentence. I am writing a novel. And that's my verb, am writing, present continuous. I'm writing a novel. I'm writing a novel. Okay. The next tense we're going to go to is present perfect. Present perfect. And this is where we start to get a few little difficulties. Some languages don't have present perfect. I think in Japanese, they don't have present perfect. Farsi has present perfect, which is great, but they don't always use present perfect. They might use present simple or present continuous. Present perfect, the formula is have or has plus the third part of the verb, which is past participle. Okay. For example, you might say to me, Layla, I've come to Manchester for the first time and I don't know which shops I should go to. Which shops are good for me to go to? This is my sentence. I have written, that's my present perfect. I have written the names of a few shops you can try. So if I have a guest coming over to Manchester, they are staying over at my place and they want to go out and do some shopping. You know, they're a tourist, they want to do some shopping. Layla, which shops can we go to? This is my sentence. I have written the names of a few shops you can try. So all I'm doing here is I'm giving the present perfect, but I'm using it in a sentence that we can use. I'm not just saying I have written. It's a full sentence, okay? I've written the names of a few shops that you can try, if you like, okay? The next verb we're going to, excuse me, the next verb we're going to is the past simple, past simple. Now, write is an irregular verb. It's not regular. A regular verb, regular verb, it just means you add ed at the end. Write, as you know, is irregular. Past tense of write is wrote. Very good. W-R-O-T-E, write, write. Okay. Let's say I was really upset with my bank. I was really upset with my bank last week. I wrote them a letter. I was really upset with my bank last week. I wrote them a letter. I wrote them a letter. Please pay attention. In Farsi we say براشون نامه نوشتم or بهشون نامه دادم or something like this. That برای that preposition that we have in Farsi, we don't use that in English. I wrote them a letter. So there are no prepositions. I wrote them a letter. Okay. I wrote a letter to them is okay, but the more native, the more fluent version is I wrote them a letter. I wrote them a letter. Okay. Let's go to past continuous. Past continuous, the formula is, I'm sure you already know, was or were plus the verb and the ing. Was or were plus the verb and ing. Let's say, for example, you just called me and I pick up the phone, hello, and you're saying, Layla, what are you doing? I'm going to use the past continuous. I was writing an email when you called me. I was writing an email when you called me. That means you interrupted me. I was writing an email. Okay, we're using for past tense something that was temporarily in the past. I was writing an email when you called me. Okay. The next one is past perfect. Past perfect that we're going to look at. Okay. Let's say that I am really frustrated with a service or with a company. Let's say, for example, I asked somebody to come and paint the outer wall of my house. Outer, the outside wall of my house. For example, I asked a company to come and paint the outer wall of my house. They did a really poor job. They did a very poor job. That means a very bad job, very bad quality job. They did a very poor job. And I want to tell you that I had written a lot of times to this company, but unfortunately I had no result. This is my sentence, past perfect, had with third part of the verb. I had written so many times. I had written so many times that I just gave up. Okay, I was really upset with this company. I had written so many times and I didn't get a response that I just gave up. I stopped writing. I had written is my tense. I had written so many times, or I had written to them so many times, there was no response, so I just gave up. Yeah. But I'm telling you, for example, don't go with that company again. It's a rip-off. It's a rip-off. Or they are a rip-off. Rip-off. That means really bad. Rip-off. Rip-off, it means they take your money, but they don't give you good quality service. They don't give you good quality products. Excuse me. They are a rip-off. It is a rip-off. Anything. Okay. Lovely. So we've done all the presents, we've done all the pasts for now. Let's go on to the future. Now in the future, I'm first going to do all the sentences with will, all the tenses with will. When we've finished will, we're going to go to going to, because both of these are used for the future. You might say, Layla, when do we use will? When do we use going to? Very quickly. Will is used if you want to promise something. If you want to promise something, we use will. If you want to predict something, if you want to predict something. So it hasn't happened yet. You can see evidence and you want to predict something. Again, we use will. We also use will if something has happened. I haven't had time to decide or think how I'm going to react. Again, I use will, okay? You want to go to the airport. You were planning on getting an Uber to go to the airport. Now you can see the Uber is going to take a long time. So I say, don't worry, I will take you. I will give you a lift, okay? So will happens when something's just happened. I don't have time to plan beforehand. I have to make a decision right now. So we use will in 3 different situations. Either if you want to promise something, yeah, if you want to predict, or if you want to make a decision right now, you didn't have time to think about it before. These are when we use will. Okay, we're going to get back to the lesson, and our main verb is write. We're going to use it with will. Future simple, yeah. We are best friends. You and I, we're best friends, and you're going on holiday. And I want to say this to you. You will write to me, won't you? That means please don't forget to write when you go on holiday. You will write to me, won't you? You will write to me, won't you? Yeah, that means please write. Please write to me. Don't forget about me. We are best friends. You will write to me, won't you? You will write to me, won't you? You will write to me, won't you? The verb is will write, will write. You will write to me, won't you? Okay, so we don't say please write to me. That's not normal. Normal, you will write to me, won't you? Lovely. The next one, we're going to use future continuous. Future continuous. This is where the tenses start to get, I'm not going to say difficult. Nothing is difficult. It's just something that you might need to pay a bit more attention and just give a little bit more practice. That's all. So the next one is future continuous. And future continuous has will, be, and then the gerund. Will, be, the gerund. That means will, be, verb, ing. Okay, that's how we make future continuous with will. Right. So you're asking me, Layla, we're going out to the cinema tonight. Do you want to come with us? I'm going to say, no, guys, sorry. I will be writing my report tonight. I will be writing my report tonight. Now, tonight hasn't happened yet. Tonight hasn't happened yet. It's the future. But when I use future continuous, that means it's something that I've already planned. I've already organized. I've already planned. Maybe I'm going to switch my phone off. I'm going to make sure the house is nice and quiet. I've got a specific room, my desk, making sure the light is good. Everything is ready. I will be writing my report tonight. Future continuous. Will, be, and the gerund. I'll be writing my report tonight. Sorry, I can't come with you. You guys go ahead and have fun, but I will be writing my report tonight. Sorry. Okay. Next one is future perfect. Future perfect. Okay, what is future perfect? Future perfect is a time between now and maximum the future. That's called future perfect. So any time between now and maximum the future. That's called future perfect. And usually in future perfect, we have to give a specific time. That is the deadline, okay? So any time between now and the future, this is called future perfect. Future perfect, okay? Right. By tomorrow, that's my deadline. By tomorrow, you will have written your last page. Let's say, for example, you're writing a book, yeah? And I want to encourage you, well done. You're towards the end, very good. Keep going, don't stop. I want to give you your final push. I'm going to say, by tomorrow, that means maximum tomorrow. By tomorrow, you will have written your last page, and then it'll be finished. Well done. The formula for future perfect simple, will, have, and past participle. Yeah, will, have, past participle, or will plus present perfect. Both of those are correct. That's future perfect. Future perfect. So what is future perfect? Any time between now and the future. That's called future perfect. We have to usually give it a deadline so we know when the maximum is in the future. By tomorrow, you will have written your last page, and then your book will be finished and you can put it aside. Well done, don't stop, keep going. By tomorrow, you will have written your last page. I keep using the verb write in all of my sentences because I want you to see how the verb changes as we go through the different tenses. Of course, there are so many other examples that you can use as well. Okay? The next one with the verb will is future perfect continuous. This is the last one I'm going to use for will. Future perfect continuous. دیگه از این سخت‌ترش نمی‌کنیم امروز. Okay? Future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous is the formula will, have, been, and then the gerund. Will, have, been, B-E-E-N. Will have been, and then the gerund. And gerund means verb plus ing, yeah? Will have been, and then the gerund. This is how we make future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous. Okay, what is future perfect continuous? Future perfect continuous is something that hasn't finished yet between now and the future. Something that hasn't finished between now and the future. The sentence I had before, future perfect simple, I said by tomorrow you will have written. That means finished. You will have written your last page. So tomorrow evening your book has finished. Okay? Future perfect continuous means that job of writing hasn't finished by the deadline in the sentence. Let's see. By this time next year, so again, I need a deadline in my sentence. By this time next year, that's my deadline. By this time next year, I will have been writing so much that I will be doing it in my sleep. By this time next year, let's say for example I have started a new hobby and my hobby is writing, okay? I want to tell you that I'm going to take this hobby really seriously. I'm going to do it every day. We say religiously. I'm going to do this hobby religiously, very seriously. This is how I say it. by this time next year, I will have been writing, yeah? By this time next year, I will have been writing so much, I will be doing it in my sleep. That's my idiom. That means it comes as second nature. I will be so professional. By this time next year, I will have been writing so much, I'll be doing it in my sleep. That means I will be professional at writing, yeah? I'm just trying to tell you, my listener, my audience, that I'm starting a new hobby. My new hobby is writing, and I'm really going to take it very seriously, yeah? I will have been writing so much that I'll be doing it in my sleep. Yeah, okay. Well done. So will has finished. We've done future simple, which is just will and the verb. We've done future continuous, will, be, and then the gerund. We've done future perfect simple, which is will, have, and the past participle. We've done future perfect continuous, will, have, been, and then the gerund. Very well done, well done. Now we're going to do future again, but this time we're going to do future with going to, going to. What is future going to? We talked about future will, yeah? We said we use future will if we want to make a promise, if we want to predict the weather, predict something, or if we have to make a decision right now without any planning or anything beforehand. Excuse me. We use going to when I have thought about it. I have actually planned it. I've thought about it, but my planning is not complete. It's not 100%. Okay? I'm going to give you an example. Let's say, for example, this evening, I want to tell my kids, guys, kids, we are going to go for a stroll in the park, okay? We're going to go for a stroll. Stroll is a relaxed walk, yeah? I'm going to write it down, stroll, S-T-R-O-L-L, stroll. Everybody, we're going to go for a stroll in the park. Going to go. Two parts. Going to go. We're going to go for a stroll in the park this evening. Okay, that's with going to, right? We have another form of future, which is present continuous. We are going for a stroll in the park. That means it's been decided 100%. It doesn't matter if I have guests. We're going to take our guests to the park with us. So 100% we are going to the park and we're going for a stroll. That's when we use the present continuous for future. What we're talking about now is going to for future. That means I've planned it, but it's not 100% guaranteed yet. Yeah, we've done a lot of the planning, but it's not 100% guaranteed yet. Okay, that's what we mean by going to. Let's start with future simple going to. The formula is going to and the verb. Going to and a normal verb. Let's say, for example, I went to a restaurant and the service was really bad. They charged me an arm and a leg. That means very expensive. They charged me an arm and a leg for the food. I paid for very, very bad service. The food was cold, it was late, very rude waiters, and lots and lots of bad things. And then when I came home, I started getting really angry. For example, I started thinking about it and I started getting really angry. And this is what I'm going to say to you. I'm going to write to them. I'm going to write. I'm going to write to them and give them a piece of my mind. That's my idiom. I'm going to write to them, to that restaurant, and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. It means I'm really upset with them. I'm going to tell them exactly how I think about the service, about the food, about the restaurant. I'm going to write a complaint letter, basically, and I'm going to tell them exactly how I feel. It's not going to be a pretty letter, yeah? It's going to be a very serious, very a letter of complaint, basically. I am going to write to them and I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Yeah. So going to write, future simple, lovely. Let's go to future continuous with going to. Future continuous with going to. The formula is going to, be, and a gerund. Going to, be, and a gerund. That's how we make future continuous with going to. Going to, be, and a gerund. Okay. You might be saying, Layla, I have had no postcard, I've had no letter, no email from you. What's going on? You're not writing to me, Layla. What's going on? And I say this. I am going to be writing to you shortly. Don't worry. I am going to be writing to you shortly. I'm going to be writing to you shortly. I'm going to be writing to you shortly. That means very soon I'll start writing to you. Don't worry. I am going to be writing to you shortly. I'm going to be writing to you shortly. When do we use this? We use future continuous for something that is going to happen in the future, and it's going to be a temporary activity. It's a temporary activity. Me writing to you, I'm not going to spend my whole future writing to you. I'm just going to spend maybe 10, 15, 20 minutes writing. So it's a temporary activity for the future. I'm going to be writing to you shortly. It's something I've already planned, yeah? I'm going to be writing to you shortly. Okay, lovely. Let's go for future perfect simple. You're doing very well. If you are still with me in the live, you're doing very, very well. Well done. Future perfect simple with going to. The formula is going to, have, and past participle. Going to, have, past participle, or going to plus present perfect. It's the same thing, right? Okay, right. Let's say I'm looking for a job. I'm looking for work. I'm looking for a job. I've sent my CV, my resume to a few places. I haven't had much luck. Okay. I'm getting a bit worried now. I'm getting a bit anxious. Time is passing, but I still don't have a job. Okay. This is what I'm going to say. Right. I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting my foot down. That's an idiom. That means I'm going to be very serious. I'm putting my foot down. No joke. I'm putting my foot down. Enough is enough. I'm putting my foot down. Enough is enough. I'm going to have written to everyone by the end of the year. Okay. So I'm going to write a CV or resume and I'm going to send it to everybody by the end of the year. Let's remember, going to is for the future. Future perfect, it means until a specific deadline in the future. My deadline in this sentence is by the end of the year. By the end of the year. By the end of the year. We're in August right now in the English year, in the Christian calendar. We're in August right now. So I still have another few months, yes? And I'm saying, I'm putting my foot down, no more joking, I'm putting my foot down, enough is enough. I'm going to have written to everyone by the end of the year. Yeah, that's how desperate I am to get a job. Oops, sorry. That's how desperate I am to find a job. I've been looking for work for the past 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. Nothing's happening. I have to move. I have to create a new plan. Yeah. I can't just sit at home and wait for somebody to knock on the door and say, here, Layla, there you go. There's a job. It doesn't work that way. I have to move. I have to get up. So I'm telling you that I'm being very serious, yeah? I'm putting my foot down. Foot, single. I'm putting my foot down. Enough is enough. I'm going to have written to everyone by the end of the year. That's my deadline. By the end of the year. By the end of the year. Okay? Well done. Let's go to the final tense for this lesson. Thank you very much. Well done. The 2 pages are stuck together. Here we go. Future perfect continuous. Future perfect continuous with going to. Future perfect continuous. So let's review that again. Future perfect simple, it means by the deadline, in future, by the deadline, my action will have finished. My action will have been completed. Future perfect continuous, it means by the deadline in the future, my action will not have finished yet. It will still be continuing. Future perfect continuous. Excuse me. The formula: going to, have, been or been, and the gerund. Going to have been and the gerund. Going to have been and the gerund. That's how we write future perfect continuous. Okay, right. Let's say I want to tell you that I'm very serious about my future. I've got lots and lots of ideas about maybe a job or a project or something I want to do, a new hobby or something, and I want to tell you that I'm really serious about it. I'm going to have been writing so many new ideas, my hand will be numb. Yeah, I can't feel anything. Okay, so I'm going to have been writing so many ideas. That means writing my ideas hasn't finished. I'm going to have been writing so many ideas, my hand will be numb. I'm trying to tell you that I'm very serious. I've got so many ideas and I'm just going to keep writing and writing and writing. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to have been writing so many ideas, my hand will be numb. Yeah, that's how I'm showing you how dedicated and serious I am about something. Okay, lovely. I'm going to turn the comments back on. Lovely to see you all again. Gonna turn the comments back on. So those are just a few. They are not the complete tenses. Obviously, we have more tenses in the English language. It starts getting a little bit more complicated, and obviously we haven't even talked about the passive. These have all been active sentences, starting from the very beginning, present simple, going all the way to future perfect continuous. I really hope that you found this lesson useful. Hopefully there was a little something in there for everybody. So if you are maybe intermediate level, hopefully you found it interesting. If you are more an advanced level student, hopefully you found some of the idioms maybe a little bit interesting. All of the lesson for today was about the verb write. Okay, that was the whole lesson for today, about the verb write. And you saw how the verb changes. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. That's the idiom. You see, we have to keep clearing our throat because we talk so much. Excuse me, we say, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. That's the idiom that we use. All the sentences that we had for tonight's lesson were with the verb write, just so you can see how the verb changes as we go through the different tenses. So I didn't just say I write, I wrote, I've written. We don't just say that. We try to use it in complete sentences as well. Okay. Right, let's see. You're amazing. Thank you. What does it mean to put my foot down? What does it mean to put my foot down? Okay, when you put your foot down, it's an idiom. That means you're serious. No more joking. I'm putting my foot down. I am putting my foot down. Or for the past, I put my foot down. As you know, put is the same. Put. Yeah. So it's irregular. It's the same. All three. Put. I am putting my foot down. I'm not joking anymore. I'm very serious. Yeah. I put my foot down. Yeah. I have put my foot down. These are just different tenses we use for this idiom, which means I'm very serious. No more joking. Thank you very much. I have a frog in my throat, Naima. Yes. You know, when you keep talking and you have to keep clearing your throat. We say, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. Yeah. Put my foot in my mouth. Put my foot in my mouth. So that's a different idiom. I put my foot down, it means I'm very serious, no more joking, and it also means I'm not going to change my decision. I've put my foot down, yeah, I'm very serious. When we say I put my foot in my mouth, it means I say something that is inappropriate. I say something that is maybe rude or inappropriate, or for example, I say something at the wrong time. I say something. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. ببخشید، من خونه برادرم هستم و الان برادرم یواشکی از پشت پنجره اومد نگاه کرد. خوشحالم که یه دفعه حرف نادرستی نزدم. Oh dear. نباید آدم این کارو بکنه. Sorry. Trying to compose myself. I'm gonna go tell him off when I finished. I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. حواسم پرت شد. I lost my train of thought. I lost my train of thought. Yes. I'm so sorry about that. Put my foot in my mouth. So it means when we say something that isn't appropriate, we say it at the wrong time, we say it in the wrong place, for example. Let's say we are all organizing a surprise party, okay? The surprise party is for Alex, Okay, and I say to Alex, hey Alex, can't wait for your surprise party. Oh, I shouldn't have said that. I put my foot in my mouth. That means something I shouldn't say. We can use it for all situations. If it's rude, if it's inappropriate, if I shouldn't say it, maybe it's something that is bad for the culture of somewhere. All of these. What's this? رشته کلام از دستم رفت. Yes. Okay. I lost my train of thought. Yes. حواسم پرت شد. Thank you. I lost my train of thought. You did not tell about present perfect continuous. Oh, I didn't. I'm so sorry. You're absolutely right. I apologize. How did I forget that? So we said present continuous, and then we said straight present perfect. Thank you. So thank you for reminding me. So what was it? You said present perfect continuous. Is that right? Is that what you said? I forgot. Was it present perfect continuous? Somebody said. Yeah, present perfect continuous. So present perfect continuous, I have been writing for ages. I've been writing for ages. What's your job? I write for a living. How long have you been writing? I have been writing for ages. I have been writing for ages. So that is have or has plus been plus the gerund. So sorry about that. I completely forgot about that. And then past perfect continuous is had, been, and then writing. He had been writing his assignment. He had been writing his assignment before I phoned him, before I called him. He had been writing his assignment before I called him. Okay. Do you record this session? Will you record this session? Yes, I'm recording it right now. I will be saving it on YouTube. It will be on YouTube and I will not delete it. It'll stay there. Okay. You haven't been writing about this. Lovely, lovely. I lost my train of thought. Very good. I'm going to go to work. That is future simple, isn't it? Future simple with going to. I'm going to go to work. Is it an exception? I'm going to go to work. No, that's not an exception. Thank you very much. Okay, wow, I've taken 55 minutes of your time. Sorry, that's been quite a long lesson. Absolutely wonderful, lovely to have you all. Thank you so much for being with me, joining me, helping me with your fantastic questions and everything. And I really appreciate the questions that you send me when you're asking me questions. Some of the questions I get in my Instagram direct are not very appropriate. They're not very suitable. So I don't share everything. But the ones I do share, hopefully, in the story, hopefully will be useful to other people as well. So thank you very much, everybody. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Enjoy the rest of your week. And I will hopefully see you again next Sunday. Thank you very much. For present, for past, for future, but you said 14. Yes, did I not do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Future perfect continuous 11, 12, 13, 14. Yes. So I'm going to read them. Present simple, present continuous, present perfect, that's 3. Past simple, past continuous, past perfect, that's 6. Future simple with will, future continuous with will, future perfect with will, that's 9 altogether. Future perfect continuous with will, that's 10. And then 4 more for going to, so that's 14. Okay. Thank you very much, everybody. Have a great evening. Take care. Bye-bye.